Hi everybody. Sorry that the lighting is so shit. I'm about to go to bed and I don't really give a fuck. So, anyways, yeah. This is gonna be the creative process part two. Obviously, I had this idea and I was working on it pretty. I was pretty working on it pretty in depth a couple days ago. Kind of brainstorming ideas and shit like that. I'm not gonna go over it. You can watch that video if you want, or if you care, you probably don't. But now I'm kind of a new topic that I'm talking about when it comes to this project that I've been working on. And before I even get into that, I've also just fell out of it a couple of days, and that's kind of something else I want to talk about as well. But yeah, so I'm gonna start with that actually. What I've kind of noticed is that I can't just like sit in my room and just like create a lot of the times. I mean, I can, but most of the time I have to live life. It's I don't know, it seems like creating kind of comes second, like creating and art and all this fucking whatever. It comes secondary to life. You can't just create and not live. You have to live. You need something to, like what's gonna inspire you. Like what are you gonna talk about and shit like that. And a lot of the times, like I just sit in my room and do fucking nothing, and I just expect myself to like be super motivated and shit like that. But that's not the case, and that's just not the truth most of the times because you like nothing's happening, nothing's going on. There's nothing really pushing me to want to create something. There's nothing that I really want to say because I'm not really fucking doing anything. So that's just something I've noticed, and I really am trying to take the steps to break that. I don't want to. I just sit in my bedroom a lot of the times, but I'm not somebody who could just like sit and just like create and tell stories about my life and shit like that, whether it's for me or for me to upload it, because if there's no story, then what the fuck am I gonna go off of? There's nothing really making me want to have that urge to create. So yeah, just something I noticed. It's got to be secondary to life. I wish it wasn't because and you might be saying like, oh, well, it doesn't have to be like you could just try hard. I've tried really hard to just sit and create sometimes, and it just doesn't work because I don't have a lot going on. So I gotta, and I don't want to live life just to make shit. That's also another thing. But anyways, it's just live life first, and then everything will just fall into place. Just create, go see friends, go get out of your comfort zone, go do some other things. Because when you're just sitting in a room, you're doing fucking nothing. But yeah, that's something I was kind of thinking about, something I kind of learned. And then the other thing, uh, I talked about what I talk about in the first video. I posted a video, the creative process part one, and I said the best things are the worst things about you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was the video I was talking about. Today I was working on um or I was writing about a couple of things. I was mainly focusing on obviously like this project is a it's a message to my older self. So the thing that I'm talking about now is dopamine. Uh, if you don't know me, which you probably don't know me, or maybe you do know me, I'm a huge dopamine fiend, addict, whatever the fuck, whatever it comes to. Uh, and I just want to talk about like how it's been like such a huge part of a crutch almost. It's been like a huge crutch of my life. All these billionaires that give us a lot of freedom to consume bad things. Yeah, I fucking eat that shit up, dude, and I know I eat that shit up, and it's just really fucked up. I spend hours on YouTube. I fucking dude, I scroll. I'm addicted to whatever, I don't even want to fucking, I don't know, dude. I'm just like, just food, especially. Food's a huge one. I'm not even that fat, but, I talked about video, I'm getting chubby. Yeah, it's really hard for me to stop fucking eating. I'm always chasing some sort of instant. There's just no discipline as well. But usually what happens is like I'll get into like a habit, something will just like fuck up the habit, and then I'll just spiral. Like as of recently, during winter break and most of last semester, I was going to the gym really consistently. I pulled a muscle in my back, and then it just spiraled. So yeah, that's something I want to talk about. The reason why I want to talk about that is because like as I'm aging, this lifestyle of staying up super late and binge eating and fucking consuming content and shit like that, like just like trying to maximize the best feelings in the moment. I've been putting that like first, and I base my life around that. I'm not even kidding. Like I'll literally just like think about it, and I'll like plan time in my head for when I'm gonna do things for me to get like a quick fix or something. And I'm not a drug addict, so I don't even want to get into that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm super. I'm a dopamine junkie. You know what I'm saying? I really just crave feeling good in the moment. And yeah, this isn't a cool personality trait. It's not even a personality trait. But if you're saying, "Oh, it's not even cool," yeah, you're right. Everybody else is like that. Literally, everybody else is like that. But I don't know. I feel like it's just like, it's kind of a mundane topic because everybody is talking about it constantly. Everybody's, you look everywhere, dopamine this, dopamine that, fucking a million self-help videos and how social media is ruining the minds of children and shit like that. So, this is obviously a covered topic, but I don't want to talk about it in a covered self-help way and how to change your life and everything. Just want to talk about like I guess what I find difficult, and how I feel like I'm constantly behind because of all of these. I'm sure like a lot of people feel like that too. It's like you're in a pit of dopamine, you're just behind. It's like you're not in a state of being neutral, you're at a disadvantage. That's just what fucking sucks. And so I feel like maybe it's like that for our generation, just in a state of constantly being behind. Just constantly in a pit of dopamine, pit of instant gratification, terrible attention span, shit like that. But yeah, and for me, yeah, I just fucking I'll wait till the last minute, I procrastinate and everything, whatever. And I've been, with this, I've gone to senior year of college. But this is also what's made me a pretty average student, and not even student, but average at pretty much any of my endeavors, whatever sport, whatever passion, is this is a huge part of it, and the reason why I make this to tie this into what I'm gonna be when I'm 30 or whenever this project is gonna be made for the person in the future, or however old I am, is because I don't see a world where I can fulfill this lifestyle. It's a lifestyle at this point. I don't know if I could fulfill living this type of life. Not only is it making me depressed, not depressed, but it's making me like sad and shit like that. But I'm talking about my health recently on the channel because I've noticed all I do is fucking eat. And I just, you know, and yeah, it's not good. And all I do is eat. I don't sleep. I stay up, and it's 2:30 in the morning right now. I should be fucking sleeping, but I'm up here making this video. So yeah, but I don't know. It's just kind of what's on my mind. Dopamine is a huge issue in my life, I guess. It's not dopamine, it's instant. You get it. I'm too tired for this shit. Whatever. Creative process part two.